Good morning. We are the team of Green Dot Consultants that Earl Rockstar has assembled to provide recommendations to Mile High Supply Division of Wilhelm Industries. Our team members include Ryan Beard, Ethan Belcher, Lauren Caldwell, Kelly Felker, and Jake Rice.
Thank you, Mr. Scott, for giving us the opportunity to assess and improve Mile High Supply. Today, we are going to take you through the purpose of our consulting needs, the approach we took, and our overall findings. We will explain how we analyzed 2 ERP systems and our recommendations based on this analysis. After analyzing Mile High Supply's current position, we have determined how, over the next few years, Mile High Supply can become a reliable supplier of aircraft parts for commercial airplanes, U.S. government agencies, and the private industry. The key objective for our consulting is to help Mile High Supply raise their revenue. Revenue has been falling over the past few years and has recently reached over $2 million a week. We are recommending several changes to improve your business. We were asked to evaluate and choose an ERP system that would most align with your goals and implement it. Through our analysis of the company, we saw much room for improvement in customer relations and reducing costs. A quicker quotation process and a way to track customers' orders are 2 ways to improve customer relations. We discovered several ways to reduce unnecessary costs. Because there is no reliable supply and demand forecasting, there is an unnecessary amount of money being spent to make spare parts and store them in the warehouse. Holding costs for excess parts is high, and the amount of space in the warehouse is limited.
First, we at Green Dot took a look at the current position of Mile High Supply at a high level and discovered that there was a lack of consistent, accurate supply and demand information, demand decisions based not just on price but on multiple factors, no uniform purchasing processes across customers, specific product segments that offer higher profit margins than others, a small number of customers make up the majority of the sales, and a lack of differentiated product offerings among other players. We then interviewed Terry Williams, Vice President of Mile High Supply. Through this interview, we discovered that Terry is the sole manager of the Excel spreadsheet used to keep track of parts. This could lead to potential problems down the road if Terry ever left the company. We also interviewed Alex McKenzie, Director of Logistics and Distribution, who is responsible for the warehouse expansion and who has been pushing for the implementation of the ERP system. Through her experience and relationship with Boeing, Alex states that in order for MHS to remain competitive, the company needs detailed visibility over inventory and all items need to be managed in one database.
Now we will quickly run through our overall findings, starting with some of the positive things that we feel Mile High Supply is currently doing. First, Mile High Supply receives a significant amount of feedback from its customers. Organizing and understanding this feedback will be critical to providing the best customer service. This will ultimately result in increased customer loyalty in an industry with historically inconsistent customers. Secondly, the majority of MHS's business is generated through long-term contracts with a select number of customers. 50% of the company's sales are attributed to only 25 customers, resulting in a more steady demand for parts and services. One of the most beneficial practices currently implemented by the aviation group are the long-term comprehensive production licenses MHS holds for a number of the parts they produce. Through these licenses, Mile High Supply has the rights to all pieces of the production process for these parts and maintains those rights for spare parts in the aftermarket. These licenses provide a significant advantage over the company's competitors. Now we will highlight some of the areas Mile High Supply can improve. The largest areas for improvement that the team observed were information management, customer relations, and inventory records. Information management will be solved with the new ERP system. The team used a SWOT analysis to decide between the 2 ERP options. Customer relations will be improved through better organization of existing and future feedback and the implementation of an automated customer quoting system. Lastly, current inventory records will be available through an access database that will be created from Terry's existing spreadsheet. An accurate inventory record will reduce inventory holding costs and allow MHS to be more efficient when filling customer orders.
There are 3 major areas of improvement that Mile High Supply can begin now, before the ERP system is put into place. First, a temporary access database should be created to more efficiently manage the current inventory. Thanks to Terry Williams' work, this database will be cheap and easy to implement. Making the switch from an Excel spreadsheet to an Access database requires only basic database skills, which can be provided by Green Dot Consulting or Mile High Supply. This database can then be shared on Mile High Supply's internal network so that employees at the DC can manage and maintain their inventory easily. Even this basic system should result in lower inventory costs as the employees can more easily see long-term demand behaviors. The Access database will also act as a simple introduction to the more complex ERP system to come. With the employees better educated on the use and benefit of inventory databases, the transition to the ERP system will be much smoother. Second, Mile High Supply needs to improve customer relations. Currently, customer loyalty is quite low, making consistent revenues difficult to come by as customers switch between suppliers at will. With a high-quality customer service system, Mile High Supply can secure more stable revenue streams through more long-term contracts. Terry informed us that MHS competitors are able to provide quotes to customers, and this system can be implemented quickly at MHS. The Access database will already include information about the products, so a sales representative can easily look up information requested by customers. This database can also store information related to product costs, making the quotation process easily automated and executed by one person. Customers who can get a quick, reliable quote are more likely to return, creating more business opportunities for MHS. Also, with a high overview of product costs and profit margins readily available, customer relationship representatives can better prioritize those products that benefit the company more. The other way to improve customer relations is through utilizing the customer feedback MHS is receiving. This was another great suggestion by Terry. We know that Mile High Supply receives a similar amount of customer feedback as its competitors, so we need to take advantage of this information. Our recommendation is to create a personal approach to customer relations, which will increase overall customer satisfaction. Currently, MHS offers 24/7 customer service for all 365 days of the year. This system is both costly and impersonal, as returning customers will likely be talking to a different person each time they call. Instead, customers will be matched with customer relations employees. Through this pairing, all problems the customer has will be fed through one individual who can more easily track the problems experienced by the customer, and solutions can be created based on this tracking. Less staff will be needed to maintain this system, so significant costs can be cut, saving MHS a lot of overhead each year. The last quick solution MHS can begin implementing now is the slow burning off of current inventory levels. As Alex McKenzie pointed out, warehouses are currently overstocked on unessential products. These products represent money invested in something that is currently not making money back for the company, so orders placed for these items should be reduced. Decisions on which products need to be cut back on can be made using the information provided in the Access database. Over time, inventory levels will come down, reducing holding costs and freeing up space in the warehouse for products that sell. This strategy will be carried over once the ERP system is up and running, where inventory levels can be set to minimize costs.
When trying to decide between the two ERP systems of GMS Alpha systems and Vision Beta systems, the first thing we took into account is what can each system offer and what is each lacking. The main issues we wanted to address were those that could increase Mile High Supply's customer satisfaction in warehousing and inventory needs. To choose between the two systems, our team performed a SWOT analysis for each system and compared the results. In order to rank the modules of each system in a similar fashion, each facet of a module was given a number 1 through 5, 1 being for inadequate and 5 being excellent as evaluated by employees. From these, each module will get an average of their performance, which would then be ranked from best to worst. The top 4 would qualify under a system strength and the bottom 4 would be a weakness, with all others in the middle ground not being greatly influential in the decision-making process. First, we'll look at GMS Alpha systems. On their list of strengths includes their modules of manufacturing, forecasting and planning, general ledger, and warehousing and inventory. On the other hand, their weaknesses include their maintenance services, order fulfillment, strategic, tactical, and operational planning, and transportation. These strengths offer a number of opportunities for MHS. One possible opportunity with the manufacturing module is an increase of product through improved manufacturing processes. Although it is an opportunity, it goes against what we suggest MHS to do when we recommend to cut their spare parts production. One opportunity that drastically goes in the right direction is a possibility to increase customer service due to the improvement of forecasting and planning techniques. In the same direction, cutting unnecessary inventory and fortifying their warehousing processes is a very necessary option. One last thing that can be improved is their accounting processes, but that isn't a major point of improvement for MHS's needs. In terms of their weaknesses, GMS lacks a couple vital things that Mile High Supply was looking to improve upon. The first would be their order fulfillment. This was one point Alex mentioned was essential, especially in terms of their customer service. Another point that hinders their customer service possibilities is GMS's lack of supplier-to-customer planning techniques. Since a major issue for the company is addressing their customer, these two aspects are disadvantages for GMS. Two other non-vital threats would be the lack of maintenance and repair services as well as the poor transportation techniques. As neither one of these was mentioned in the pre-interviews as an issue, they could be overlooked for now. Overall, the four categories considered important based on the company's issues, which are forecasting and planning, warehousing and inventory, order fulfillment, and strategic, tactical, and operational planning, scored just above average at 3.29 out of 5. Next, we'll look at Vision Beta Systems. Their list of strengths includes their order management, logistics manager, planning, and inventory management. Their weaknesses include the modules of warehouse management, production forecasting, discrete manufacturing, and general ledger. Vision Beta Systems focuses on a lot of the issues MHS needs to address, such as their customer service and inventory. Out of the four listed strengths, 3 of them are able to address one of the company's needs. They are able to focus on customer service with the opportunity to process orders more efficiently and effectively. Going along with their order management, their planning is also a strong point which can also lead to improved customer relations. On the other side of the company's needs, Vision Beta Systems can address their inventory management issues as well so they can accurately count and locate their entire inventory instead of only relying on Terry's Excel spreadsheet. One such opportunity that doesn't immediately address the issues at hand is their ability to optimize their transportation of the parts. When we consider the weaknesses of Vision Beta Systems, they include warehouse management, production forecasting, discrete manufacturing, and general ledger. Although warehouse management is listed as a weakness, it could be considered average at worst and deals purely with the optimization of floor space. Another weakness that could be a big threat is a lack of developed forecasting techniques, which was one of the points MHS went out to solve. A couple other non-vital threats for Vision Beta Systems includes its loss of product that's manufactured and the poor accounting services it provides. Overall, the 5 categories considered important based on the company's issues, which are order management, planning, inventory management, warehouse management, and production forecasting, scored in between average and above average at a 3.55 out of 5. After analyzing both systems, we recommend that MHS choose Vision Beta Systems for their ERP system. Apart from the overall strength of all the important aspects being higher than GMS Alpha systems, even where Vision was somewhat weak, their strengths did a good job overlapping to reduce the negative effects. For example, a weakness was production forecasting, but with planning and inventory management both being strengths, Vision's production forecasting abilities should be able to improve. Another reason for choosing Vision actually comes from the possible negative effect from a GMS strength. In our short-term recommendations, we suggested that Mile High Supply cut their spare parts production, but GMS's biggest strength is in manufacturing, which could lead to the underutilization of something they do well. For these reasons, we believe it to be in Mile High Supply's best interest to choose Vision Beta Systems for their ERP system. As for our long-term recommendations, implementing Vision Beta Systems as the new ERP is at the top of our list.
While historically the spare part division has been MHS's crown jewel, airlines are now building and repairing parts on their own. Thus, with this shift, MHS does not need to be producing as many spare parts. If MHS slowly reduces the spare parts section of the business, it may lead to a change in management issue. Fewer people will be needed in the spare parts department with its reduction in size and precedence. MHS needs to figure out demand and inventory of each part and stop manufacturing and storing the parts that are rarely purchased by customers. Eventually, the goal is for MHS to manufacture little to no spare parts and focus their attention on areas with higher profit margins. OEM to airport manufacturers is where profit margins are highest after spare parts. Thus, MHS needs to strengthen their relationships with airline manufacturers like Boeing and Airbus and look into private airline manufacturers and government agencies as well.
In closing, we would like to thank the entire Mile High Supply team for being cooperative and helpful during our time here. Thank you for meeting with us today, and we hope our recommendations benefit your business in the future.